Wolfheart never seems to tire of talking about Baldur's Gate 3. I wonder if he's actually that big a fan or if there's some kind of kickback system in play here. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about this comment, which I will say there's nothing wrong with it. Some of you guys might even be surprised by my answer. This is kind of a stupid video, but I'm trying to plan out the month's content, so this is where I'm at right now. Let's jump right in. Baldur's Gate 3 Early Access has been playable for about 1.5 years now, and according to Steam, I've logged in just about 700 hours, but then I also have a little bit of time over on Stadia and GOG. Now, some of that 700 does include AFK time, and some of it consists of me recording footage for videos, which can be testing things or trying to get footage of a particular spell or action going off, which can be quite time-consuming and a little bit frustrating at times. But overall, I have played Early Access quite a lot, and I know there's a few of you out there that have me beat by a landslide, which is awesome. But overall, I think anybody that's played more than 50 to 100 hours has played a lot for a game that currently we only have around 1/3 of the content, and it's an unfinished 1/3. Now, after a couple hundred hours or so, I did start to tire of playing Early Access. And like I just mentioned, we're limited to Act 1 content only, and it's not really even the full Act 1 because there's a ton of missing content that Larian is saving for the official launch of the game. Honestly, right now, I don't particularly enjoy going through the Nautiloid ship for the 25th time. I don't enjoy listening to Gale tell me I'm staring at him like a Rashimi in a blackboard. And if Astarion bites my neck one more damn time, I'm probably going to push him off a cliff and not even care that I take a hit to my subscriber count. Just kidding. Now, interestingly enough, though, I never seem to quite tire of coughing up a thunder wave. You should really give it a try yourself. What I'm trying to say is that I've been through Early Access a lot, and for the most part, I've tried the vast majority of different outcomes. I've been evil and good. I've played with all the origin characters. I've attempted to romance the hag, and I've even killed Helsin and laughed while doing it. God, that was actually a lot of fun. This is just what happens when you play too much. You become a bit of a lunatic. I'm only human, and maybe a little bit of Wood Elf too, but what I'm trying to say is that I have tired of playing Early Access. I don't get insanely excited to turn on the game and jump back in for a new playthrough. But with that said, I still do get really excited for the new patches, especially the ones where Larian makes significant changes or brings us a new class. Now, I won't play the new patches for 500 hours anymore. I'll just do one playthrough and then be done, but it's really exciting to be a part of the development and see these changes, and perhaps even be a part of the final development of the game by offering feedback, because as we know, Larian does listen to community feedback. Even if it's a small part, it's cool to be a part of that and offer something that you feel like in some way, shape, or form the company is listening. You guys, along with me together, we can possibly make changes for this game. And perhaps even more importantly than just being excited for the new patches, I'm more excited for the official launch of this game than I ever have been before we had Early Access, because now I truly see the potential in this game. I know what to expect and I also know what to not expect. So there's going to be none of that overhype and then you get let down on release. I don't think that's going to be the case. And having a good understanding of the game now and having more of a level head, it makes me more excited for the official launch of the game. Just thinking about walking up to the Basilisk Gate at Baldur's Gate and being able to explore that city and knowing what quality we should expect when we get to the city. And then of course there's going to be Act 3. All of that is just, it's insane hype for myself, but I don't feel like I'm overshooting that hype anymore now that I kind of know what to expect. It doesn't mean Baldur's Gate's gonna be perfect, but we know what to expect now. And in my opinion, this game has a ton of potential, and I think we're gonna be talking about it for 3, 4, 5, 10 plus years down the line like we do with some of the other classic RPGs. Now, going back to the initial comment where the commenter said I never seem to tire of making Baldur's Gate 3 videos. Well, naturally, if I've tired of playing Act 1 over and over again, it would only make sense that I'd be tired of talking about Act 1 over and over again. And this is true, but like any YouTube video, I'm tired of making a lot of videos. A lot of the videos that I do in the style that I do them, and it takes a lot of time, and I don't necessarily wake up with insane excitement levels to sit down and do research, script writing, video editing, but I do take a lot of pride in my work and the finished product, and knowing that there's going to be people that consume that product, and for the most part it seems like people enjoy it. That's really what gets me excited good. And considering that Baldur's Gate is such a core part of this channel, of course I'm going to continue to cover it. I'm also preparing for the official launch of the game because I want to be your source of everything Baldur's Gate 3. Now that I just admitted to you guys that every single day is not necessarily the most exciting day of my life whenever I'm doing a Baldur's Gate video, I still don't think there's any other game that I'd rather be covering right now. I'm a really big fantasy nerd, and oftentimes when I'm out in the real world, I'm just really in La La Land thinking about elves and dragons. I know it's kind of sad. I also grew up reading the Legend of Drizzt book series, so it's kind of crazy to be covering a game, or mainly covering a game on this channel that has such a strong relationship to those books with the Forgotten Realms and just general D&D lore. To wrap this video up, going back to the initial comment, yes, I am that big of a fan, and there's no other game that I would have preferred to blow up on my channel than Baldur's Gate 3. But now that I've told you guys that I am a fan of this game and I love this game, even though I might be sick of early access or going through the same content over, I don't want to say sick of, I don't just dread it, but I'm not as excited as I used to be. So why would I keep covering the game is kind of what this commenter's saying without some sort of kickback system. And a kickback system is kind of insinuating that Larian Studios might be bribing me under the table with something. And we're going to talk about that in just a second. I said I was going to wrap up the video. Apparently I'm not wrapping it up. But before we talk about a kickback system, I should make it really clear that I'm incentivized by you guys and my YouTube analytics to continue to cover this game. Despite me loving the game and having a passion for it, I'm actually incentivized by you guys and my YouTube analytics. So when I do a Baldur's Gate video, I typically know that I'm going to get at least a decent amount of views, and views correlates to growth typically on YouTube because you reach more people, and views also correlates to making more money off of ad revenue. When I cover another game, the video has a much higher percentage chance of kind of flopping, and there's been many cases where I've spent 10, 20, even 30 plus hours on one video and have only gotten 1,000 to 5,000 views, which ends up being like $10, $15 of revenue, which really sucks. When I cover Baldur's Gate 3, there's a little bit of a safety net there, and I know that I'm going to at least have a alright amount of people clicking on the video to watch it because you guys are very interested in that content. Now, in terms of a kickback system, well, I did get invited out to their headquarters in Belgium, so I guess that's a way. Of course, they probably are expecting me to think more of them when they bring me out there, but an actual kickback system where they're bribing me under the table with money or something like that is quite literally illegal, and I'm not going to risk it. But I can tell you for a fact that a lot of these companies like Larian Studios, especially the bigger companies in the industry, are not going to risk that, because if we have a bad relationship sometime down the road, which happens a lot with content creators and companies, I could easily expose Larian and bring up their emails and stuff like that of where they bribed me to do something. It's just really stupid for a company to do that. Now, I can't speak for like the crypto gaming industry or any of those more mysterious environments, but I would say that probably every single content creator that you watch that is in a similar genre to mine or does something similar to what I do on this channel, you don't have to worry about them taking under the table deals when talking about games, any games that are from notable companies, because it's just a tremendous risk. Whenever I take a sponsorship, I have to usually, actually every time, sign that I will disclose that it's a sponsorship. Like the company forces it on the content creator and you have to sign that you're going to do that. Really serious stuff. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I do feel burnt out from playing Act 1 over and over again. Still excited for new patches and new classes, and very excited for the official launch of the game, which is really just the goal of everything, is the final launch of the game. It's so exciting to know that we still have that upon us. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know what you think of it down below in the comments. And thank you guys for accepting me into the Baldur's Gate community. I wouldn't want to be any other place. I'm going to be covering other games as the year goes on. Some of you guys might have noticed that I have slowed down a little bit with Baldur's Gate content because I'm trying to prepare myself for the future, because Baldur's Gate's not going to be forever. So I'm trying to branch out a little bit. Looking into Starfield, Hogwarts Legacy for the end of this year. There's really not that many CRPGs coming out, but yeah, see you guys around. Bye.